three topics. We have simple interest, we have future value, and we have compounding interest. Now, these will be on the board during the test. All three of these formulas will be on the board during the test. So all you have to do is know how to use them. Okay? I'm not going to expect you to memorize a formula, because when you get to your job, you're always going to know exactly what you're supposed to do. You're just going to have to know how to do it. Does that make sense? So I'm going to give you the formulas. Alright? So the first thing we're going to talk about is simple interest. So if I've got that, now you may get, there may be one word problem with simple interest. There may be a couple that tells you principal, rate, time. Then there may be one or two that says a word problem, where it says you invest so much money at a rate of such and such percent for 3 years. What is the interest? Okay, does that make sense? That'll be how the word problem is laid out. But for the most part, it's going to look like this. You're just going to say the principal is $4,000. The rate is 6%, and the time is 2 years. Now, what do we know we would have to change? The percent has to change, and we have to change if the time is in anything but
2 years.
Years in general. Okay? Now, I'm not going to give you one in days. I won't give you one that says so many days. I'm probably going to give you one that says months. We're going to do one like that next. We have to understand how to go from months to years. Okay? So, but if I'm giving this, change the percent, how do I change it?
We do that.
Just move it over 2 places to the left. Put a 0 where there's a spot missing. So 0.06. So the interest equals your principal, which is 4,000, times your rate, which is 0.06, times your time, which is 2 years. Okay? If you put that in the calculator, you get 480. So your interest for those 2 years will be 480. Alright? Do what? Is or isn't? It's not. Okay? Does one make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What if we're given one that says the principal is $5,000. The rate is 8.5%, and the time is 9 months. How many things am I going to have to change here? 2. What am I going to have to change? The rate and the time. So the rate's going to be what?
0.85.
0.085. Okay. Now the time's going to become what? How many months do we have? It's not. The money's in there for 9 months, but how many months do we have in a year?
12.
Divide this by 12. 9 divided by 12 is like 3 over 4. Well, as a decimal, 3 over 4 is 0.75, right? Now I just put it in the calculator. So I say the interest is 5,000 times the rate, which is 0.085, times the time, which is 0.75. So we've got 5,000 times 0.085 times 0.75. So 318.75. All right. Does that make sense? That's simple interest. I mean, that would be the hardest type problem for simple interest. Okay?
I do future.
Does that make sense? Are we good? Simple interest.
We're good. Oh, yeah.
All right. future value, this formula, that's the formula that we have when I ask you what the 1 stood for. Remember? Future value is just your principal plus the interest that it's accrued. Alright? So if we're given that our principal is $3,000. Our rate is 7%. And our time is 3 years. What do I need to change? The 7%. What does it become?
0.07.
0.07. Alright? So I've got that the amount equals the principal, which is 3,000, times 1 plus the rate, which is 0.07, times the time, which is 3 years. Alright?
So tell us what that one.
Yeah, the principal.
That was just it, principal.
Well, because if you distribute the principal back out, if you distributed this P back into this formula, it would get that P, which is the principal, plus the principal times the rate times the time, which is the interest. So the principal plus however much interest it's had is the future value.
So the one, I thought it said principal at only 5 points. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Well, 50 words.
I know, because I made it. So we should get 3,630.
So you do 3,000 times 1 and then you put 0.07 times 2.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay,
Let's do another one. That's pretty simple. Alright, what if you know the principal is 2,000?
Yeah.
The amount 2,150. And the time is 1 year. What are we looking for? If we know all that, what would we be looking for?
Interest.
The rate. I don't know the rate.
Oh, okay.
I know the principal. I know the future value. I know the time. So still plug it into the formula. I've got the future value, which is 2,150, equals the principal, which is 2,000, times 1 plus the time, which is 1, times the rate, which is R. So it's just 1 plus R, right?
Yeah.
Okay? When I'm given one like this, I have a constant times a binomial distribute. So I've got 2,150 equals 2,000 plus 2,000 R.
Then you would subtract 2,000.
Yep. Subtract 2,000. So I've got 150 equals 2,000 R.
And you would divide it.
If I say 150 divided by 2,000, I get 0, that R equals 0.075. Now, what do I need to change? Because right now this is in decimal form, correct?
Move the decimal over to the
How?
move it to the right.
How many times? 2. If we start from the percent and go to the left 2, when I'm given a decimal, I'm going 2 to the right. So it'll just go right there. So our interest rate is 7.5%.
7.5
Percent. We're already given the years.
Oh. Oh, I thought it was
That's future value. Okay?
That's not that one.
Plug in what you're given. That's all you have to do. Okay, for compound interest, I'm going to do the problems are going to be just it's not going to be different, I mean, because it's going to be the same thing, but it's going to look different.
I don't like that one.
The compound will look like this tomorrow.
Well, our test is tomorrow?
Yes. That's how it's going to look. Okay? It's going to say something like your principal is 7,000, your rate is 6%, and your time is 5 years. Okay, and this will be a problem. This will be a problem. That'll be a problem. 4 will be. Like, all of them will be a separate problem, but it's just going to be given to you in a table format. Okay. Now, when I put this on the board, I'm going to put it exactly how I put it into this calculator. Okay, the exact steps I would use to put it into this calculator. I know the formula. Correct? Here's the formula. So when I plug it in for n equals 1, that would be like saying compounded annually. 2 would be like, or 4 would be like saying compounded quarterly. 12 would be like saying compounded monthly. And 365 would be like saying compounded daily. Alright? The next thing we're going to talk about is compounded continuously, but that's after the test. So don't worry about it. So I'm going to plug this in. I've got the A equals, I would say 7,000, parentheses, 1 plus another parentheses. Change the percent to a decimal. So 0.06 divided by n, which is 1. Close both parentheses. Alright? If you don't close both of them, it's going to give you the wrong answer. Under the clear side, under the clear button, there's a caret. It looks like that. Open another parentheses. Your n, which is 1, times your time, which is 5. Alright? Plug that into the calculator. Here's what you get. You get 7,000, parentheses 1 plus 0.06 divided by 1 raised to 9,367 and 58 cents.
When you put that all together.
Yes. Alright, that's the answer for 1. Now, go back in the calculator and all you got to change is the 1 to a 4. 1 just becomes a 4, and you get 9,427.
Wait, which one? The one under 0.06?
Yeah, that becomes a 4. That becomes a 4.
Would you do that for the one that says 1 plus?
No, that stays 1. And 99 cents.
Where it says 0.6, would you divide 0.6 to 4?
Alright, then for 12, go back in there and change the 4 to a 12. You get 9,441 and 95 cents. And then what do you think we're going to do for the 365? What are we going to change?
4 to 12 to
The 12 to the 365. We get 9,448 and 78 cents. When you're working this problem tomorrow, when you're working this type of problem, if you ever come up with, say, n equals 1 is 9,367.58, if for Ford you get some ludicrous looking number like 127 million, something's wrong. Okay? It don't grow that much. It's going to be a little bit larger, but it's not going to be a lot larger. Okay? It's going to continue to get larger as it gets compounded more. So if something happens and you get 9,367.58 for 1, and for 2 you get 3,927, you did something wrong. Okay? Go back and look at it. Make sure you have parentheses where you need them. Make sure you use the right end. Does that make sense? This is all that's going to be on the test. Do we have questions on any of it? It's going to be a fairly easy test because you're going to have everything you need. All right? I'm giving you the formulas. Everything will be here. So for the review, now the review's 100 points. The review's a big deal. It's like a test grade. Turning in the review is a big deal. If you don't turn the review in, it's like you made a 0 on the test. It's an easy 100-point grade. So page 456, we're doing 24 through 27. We're doing
Coach, that's it all.
29 through 31. And we're doing 35 through 37. There's the homework. That's the review. It's not that many problems. It's 10 problems.
10.
That's it. Guys, 10 problems for a 100-point test grade is not bad. I'd take it. I would take advantage of this. And this, if you actually do this problem and you understand how to do it, you will have 0 problem on the test. So that's 2 easy 100s to start this 9 weeks off. Okay? There's a calculator. There's 2 calculators up here if you need them. There's calculators on the desk. Mad and Randy. Why? Don't be mad. Has it been working, champs?
Yeah.